Have you ever felt like your body still functions, but something inside you has quietly dimmed? Desire isn't what it used to be. Intimacy feels distant, and each time you try to feel something, a spark, a connection, a sense of vitality, all you get is a hollow routine. If you're in your 70s or beyond, I want you to hear this clearly. What you're experiencing is not simply old age, no matter how often you've been told that. In fact, you may be unknowingly repeating habits that once felt harmless, habits that have been silently draining your passion, your confidence, and your natural spark over time. I'm Dr. James, a board-certified men's health expert with over 30 years of experience helping men like you. And in this video, I'll walk you through 5 common mistakes men over 70 make with masturbation. Habits that might be quietly turning down the volume on your desire without you even realizing it. Sounds personal? Maybe it is. But the truth is, silence and shame around this topic have robbed millions of men of the vibrant life they still deserve to feel. And you are not alone. If you've ever felt like you're no longer yourself, or like your spark has faded, stick with this video, because just one small shift in awareness today could reignite something inside you, your natural desire, emotional connection, and your deep sense of being alive. Before we begin, if this message resonates with you, hit that like button, subscribe, and drop a 1 in the comments to let me know you're with me. If you're not sure yet, drop a 0. I still want to learn from your perspective. Let's begin this journey of rediscovery from the inside out. Mistake 1. When the screen replaces feeling, the silent force that's dimming your true desire. Do you remember the last time you truly felt desire? Not just a physical need, but a deep, radiant longing that made your heart beat faster and awakened every part of you? Many men over 70 still try to maintain some form of a sex life, but often in silence, alone, and increasingly detached from the vibrant passion they once knew. One of the most silent yet powerful reasons for that fading spark is this: relying on pornography as your main source of stimulation. At first glance, it seems harmless. A few images, some sounds, a quick escape from a quiet day or another sleepless night. In a world where real connection often feels out of reach, seeking instant pleasure through a screen can feel understandable. But what very few realize is that you are trading real, human vitality for an artificial high, and the cost is your natural desire. Your brain and body, even at this age, are still capable of feeling pleasure, connection, and deep intimacy. But when you're consistently exposed to exaggerated, unrealistic content, your brain begins to rewire how it experiences arousal. Dopamine, the brain's reward chemical, floods your system with each viewing, giving you a temporary rush. But over time, you need more and more stimulation to feel the same effect. This is what we call desensitization, a gradual dulling of both physical and emotional sensitivity. Worse, the more you depend on porn, the more distant real human intimacy becomes. A partner's touch, the warmth of eye contact, the softness of breath, all begin to feel dull in comparison to the high-octane visuals your brain has been conditioned to crave. And this isn't just about sex, it's about how you experience yourself. When you no longer respond to what's real, you begin to lose your sense of being alive, of wanting, of connecting. In its place comes a hollow, lonely numbness, even within your own body. I've spoken with countless men who say, "I can still perform, but I don't feel anything anymore." They blame age, low testosterone, or their partner. Rarely do they consider the screen they unconsciously reach for every night. The hard truth is, this doesn't happen overnight. It happens gradually, quietly, and then one day, you wake up wondering why you feel nothing and don't know how you got there. But here's the good news. Your desire isn't gone. It's just been buried, dulled by habit, not lost forever. And yes, you can reclaim it. You don't have to quit completely, but take a step back, put the screen down, breathe deeper. Take time to listen to your body, not to get it over with, but to feel again. When you pause and step away from the artificial, you may rediscover something far greater than arousal. you may rediscover yourself, the real you, the one who still feels, who still craves connection, and who still has so much left to experience. If you give yourself the chance to come home to your body once more. Mistake 2. When self-pleasure becomes a task and your desire slowly slips away. In our younger years, desire often arrived like a wave, fast, spontaneous, and intense. Everything felt natural, vivid, alive. But after turning 70, things begin to shift. Not just physically, but emotionally and mentally too. Many men unknowingly carry the same patterns into older age. Quick, quiet, detached. And one of the most common, yet underestimated mistakes is this: treating self-pleasure like a chore. It's rushed, it's mechanical, it's done to get it over with, maybe to ease stress, kill time, or help with sleep. But here's the truth. This habit is silently retraining your nervous system to disconnect from real sensation. When you go through the motions without being fully present, without deep breathing, without emotional engagement, you send a message to your brain. Pleasure is something quick, functional, not worth savoring. And each time you repeat that, you're training your body to feel less. You don't notice the change right away. But over time, you begin to feel less sensitivity, less excitement, less connection, both to yourself and to others. I've heard men say, "I still do it regularly, but it feels empty." The problem isn't that they're still engaging, it's how they're doing it. Intimacy, even with yourself, shouldn't be mechanical. It should be a ritual of reconnection, a journey through body and emotion. If you're squeezing it into a few distracted minutes in the bathroom, how can your body truly turn on? When you rush, you don't breathe deeply. You don't relax. Your nervous system stays in a stressed state, not the calm, receptive state required for full-body arousal. You're forcing your body to feel something it's not ready for. This affects more than the moment. It spills into life. You grow distant from your partner. You lose interest in things that once moved you. You start to feel like the fire is gone, not because of age, but because of habit. Here's the hopeful part. You can change this. No pills, no pressure, just slow down. Take your time. Breathe. Let every motion, every sensation be felt. Turn the experience into something intentional, a way to care for your soul, not just scratch an itch. Because sometimes what you truly need isn't climax, it's to feel fully alive. Mistake 3. When you forget to breathe and your body slowly forgets how to desire. There's something most men never think about, especially in private moments. And yet it can completely shape how much pleasure you're able to feel, your breath, and the tension in your body. It sounds simple, maybe even too basic to matter. But the truth is, these small things are the deep foundations of arousal, connection, and desire. Many men in their 70s and beyond have told me, "I do everything the same, but it just doesn't feel like it used to." They blame age, but often the root lies in shallow breathing, clenched jaws, locked hips, tight backs, a body that's trying to feel pleasure while stuck in a state of subtle stress and contraction. Think about it. Do you breathe quickly, only into your chest? Do you tense your thighs, clench your stomach, or grip your jaw without realizing? Are you trying to reach climax rather than surrendering to sensation? All of this sends a message to your nervous system. We're under pressure, and in that state, your body redirects blood flow away from your pelvic region. Oxygen decreases, nitric oxide, crucial for erections, drops. And your body becomes tight, not open, guarded, not receptive. Over time, this becomes your default. You train your body to tense up in moments of intimacy, and the result? You feel less, you want less, you become disconnected, not because you've aged, but because your nervous system has been stuck in survival mode. Here's what no one ever teaches us. Desire doesn't come from force, it comes from softness. And breath, slow, full breath, is the bridge that brings you back to that place of ease, safety, and sensitivity. When you breathe deeply from your belly, when you relax your body, you're not just improving blood flow. You're giving yourself permission to feel again, to notice the warmth of your skin, the beat of your heart, the emotional undercurrent beneath the physical act. You don't need complex techniques. Start with the simplest thing. Notice when you're holding your breath. Notice when your body is tense. And then, let go. Inhale slowly. Exhale fully. Place a hand on your belly. Feel life returning to you. Because sometimes, what we call lost desire is actually just a nervous system that's been begging to breathe. Mistake 4. When pleasure becomes an escape and desire fades into a numb habit. There's a subtle shift that most men over 70 don't even notice. When self-pleasure stops being about enjoyment and starts being about escape. Escape from anxiety, from loneliness, from sleepless nights, from the quiet ache of unspoken feelings. At first it seems harmless. You're simply trying to soothe yourself, to take the edge off. A familiar act that brings a sense of balance. But here's the truth. Your body and brain don't separate release from desire. When you repeatedly associate sexual release with stress, fatigue, or boredom, you're training your brain to see pleasure as a tool for emotional relief, not as an expression of aliveness. And over time, that moment of escape becomes hollow. You're still doing it, but you're not feeling it. You release tension, but not emotion. You begin to drift away from your own vitality, not because you don't want it, but because you've unknowingly turned a sacred act into a coping mechanism. The more it repeats, the more you feel. Less interest, less connection, less like yourself. I've heard men say, "I don't even think about sex with feeling anymore. I just use it to fall asleep." But can you see what's happened? That's no longer desire. It's habit. A cycle where sex is no longer a beginning of connection, but an end to exhaustion. And then you wonder why nothing excites you anymore. Why even the things that once stirred your soul feel distant. It's not because you're broken. It's not because you're too old. It's because you've slowly drained emotion out of the experience and replaced it with numbness. The good news? You can reclaim the purpose of your pleasure. Let it be a choice, not a hiding place. Let it be a celebration, not a survival tactic. Start by not waiting until you're tired, anxious, or stressed to connect with yourself. Try exploring when you feel curious, alive, even joyful. When you want, not when you need. Because in that moment, you're not just rekindling desire. You're bringing your mind back into your body. You're reconnecting with the part of you that may have been forgotten over the years. And here's the magic. When you shift your intention, your entire experience begins to shift with it. Mistake 5. Doing it the same way every time and forgetting how to feel something new. Humans love routine, especially as we age. We seek familiarity, fixed schedules, known spaces, because repetition makes us feel safe. But sometimes that very safety becomes the quiet killer of sensation. When it comes to sexuality and especially self-pleasure, doing it the exact same way every time can gradually dull the nervous system's ability to respond. It's like turning the volume down, little by little, without noticing. At first, you found a method that worked. It was efficient, predictable, satisfying. But over time, your brain starts to only respond to that exact script. A closed loop forms, and anything outside of it feels distant, unfamiliar, even emotionally flat. That's why many men in their 70s and beyond report only being able to get aroused in one specific way, feeling disconnected when trying anything new, experiencing weak or fading desire that's hard to explain. But it's not because you're broken. It's not because your body can't feel. It's because you've trained yourself to only react to one narrow pattern of stimulation. It's like eating the same bowl of soup every day for decades. No matter how much you liked it at first, eventually your taste buds stop responding. Not because the soup changed, but because your brain stopped expecting surprise. Desire works the same way. It thrives on novelty, on curiosity, on subtle variation. You don't need to do anything radical, but you do need to break the pattern. Consciously. Try something different. A new setting, a different pace, a new kind of touch, a time of day you've never tried, or simply a shift in intention, from doing to discovering. Because every time you introduce even a small change, You wake up your nervous system from its slumber. You remind your body we're still here, still alive, still able to be surprised. And in that moment, that precious, unfamiliar moment, true desire might return. Life. Lesson and call to action. After everything we've talked about, perhaps the most important lesson is not what to do, but how you choose to come home to yourself. Yes, aging changes the body, but it doesn't erase your longing to feel, to connect, to be fully alive. The fading of desire isn't about time. It's about small, unconscious habits that have quietly disconnected you from yourself. Maybe you've been treating self-pleasure as a task, something to get over with. Maybe you've relied on porn, rushed through it, held your breath, tensed your body, done it the same way every time, and didn't realize that, little by little, you were moving further away from your own vitality. But the beautiful truth is this: it's never too late to return. Sometimes all it takes is a single shift, one deep breath, one moment of stillness, one small act of curiosity, and your body begins to remember what it means to feel truly alive. Turn those private moments into a ritual of care, not just for your body, but for your spirit. Breathe, feel, be present, not for performance, not for pressure, but because you deserve to reconnect with the part of yourself you thought was gone. If something in this message resonated with you, I invite you to leave a comment below. Share one small thing you're ready to change after today. Hit the like button if this content was helpful to you. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more heartfelt, honest, and empowering videos. Made especially for men over 60 who are ready to live with more connection and purpose. Because desire has no expiration date, emotion doesn't age, and you still have time to rediscover yourself.